greatest. I want you to take the rest of the day off. No. But it's so nice of you to share all your knowledge. And I'm telling you, I was going to tear my hair out. I was on the computer this morning for like 2.5, 3 hours reading and watching videos and, just trying to search this and that. And I was taking everybody's their products and I was saying this stuff and I left messages for product people and talked to some of them. Nobody was as helpful as you. And as really as knowledgeable. I think they just get these guys and they hire them and they don't even know the product. But anyway, this is marvelous. Thank you.
Welcome to A Clean Conversation, where your questions shape the story of better stone care, one conversation at a time. Hi, I'm Caesar and welcome. This is our very first episode of what we're calling A Clean Conversation. Each and every day, all I do is have conversations with customers regarding their stone care scenarios, whether it's indoor, outdoor, showers, floors, walls, patio, pavers, driveways, name it. And there's so many questions that people have that I want to develop a forum or a place where you can listen to conversations firsthand, see if what they're going through you can relate to, see what kind of solutions we can provide you with, whether it's just educational answers to help guide you or steer you, whether you're a DIYer, a homeowner, or a contractor, anything that we could do from our experience to help give you a little bit more insight and or help you in a way where my explanations can help you as a contractor explain it to customers, or you as a customer understand the variables and the challenges regarding stone care for whatever the situation is. So in this first episode, we come to you with an unknown name of a client. She called earlier, left a message, didn't leave her name. We're going to play the message right now, kind of go over a few things that immediately come to mind. We'll give her a call. Hopefully we can get a hold of her and see if we continue this conversation. So first, let's begin and let's listen to what the voice message was.
Hi, I'm in St. Louis and I just watched your video. And if you have a moment, I would love if you could call me back. I realize that you're not in my area and that may not, be anything in it for you, but it would be so helpful if you would give me a call back because I'm asking about the topical versus the stone sealer. We had polyurethane and it kept the leaves from coming off, just like in the video, the leaves from staining. But then, it started to flake off and look terrible, and he had to grind it all off. It was a big job. And then he put impregnator on, and as soon as leaves fell on it, it stained. And we can't have that because we have a very leaf situation all the time. So I was just wondering if there was a way to, make a happy medium or put them both on or something. If you would be so kind to call me back. Thank you.
And this is exactly what I hear every day. All right, so let's break it down. First, she's referencing a video that we made. It's on our YouTube channel, CSI Absolute Clean. You go to this channel, you see a lot of my face, and you'll see my best friend's face here, Earl. And the video that she's referencing is this one right over here. Exterior stone sealers, topical versus impregnating, pros and cons. So you heard yourself that she said that they had polyurethane on there, that it was peeling just like it was in my video. And then she had a contractor come over there and I think her words were grinded off or sanded off. And that right there makes me questionable because what happens, I don't have a piece of stone over here, but basically what happens is that your stone has a facade, has a surface on there. When you grind it, you're now changing the texture. And when you change the texture, you're also changing its level of absorbency. So like if you have the best way to put it is if you have, let's just say, a polished marble tile, nice and smooth, and you come with sandpaper, right? And you sand down the top of it, you now changed the topical texture of that material, which now changed its absorbent rate. The more texture there is, the more absorbent it is. The flatter it is, the smoother it is, the less absorbent it is. So right there, when she said that he grinded off, I don't know if she just is describing what she saw which is, like a floor machine, on there, scrubbing, or if he really did grind it off. So I think I'm gonna ask her for some pictures to email. In which case, then we can revisit, this video and those pictures when it comes in, see if it ties into what I was concerned about. But basically, in order to remove polyurethane, you got to use a super stripper. And because you're on a textured exterior stone, you don't want to grind it. You don't want to change the texture of it, which just means that it's more labor intensive and it takes longer to remove, an epoxy or a polyurethane based coating on there. So really the answer is to just go over it and over it and over it and rinse it and scrub it and keep putting more product down and scrubbing it until it all comes off. So it's a tedious job, but I don't know why they resorted to grinding or sanding. I forgot the word that she used, but that's a concern. So that makes me wonder, they removed a topical and then they replaced it with what should have put on there, in my opinion, which is an impregnating sealer. So in this video, I'll put a link below to this video so you guys can see it. But if I just fast forward it to the areas that we're talking about, I was at a customer's house doing a estimate inside. It was during COVID time. There's a comment in there about a person asking why I'm wearing a mask. Because I literally just stepped out of the house and I forgot I had it on. But all right, so let's turn around. I'm gonna fast forward this a little bit. Okay, so you see what's going on over here, right? This is because you used a topical coating. Now, topical coatings, let me rewind. When it comes to sealers, you have two categories. You have penetrating and topical. And between those penetrated and topicals, you got other subcategories, right? So if you have a penetrating product, is it solvent-based? Is it water-based? It penetrates. Does it give it the wet look? So there's a couple of different variables there. If it's a topical, topicals could be acrylic, could be a poly, could be epoxy, so you have different types of topicals. But what they both have is that when you are in an exterior environment, you don't want to put a topical, because what it does is that it prevents evaporation from occurring, because you literally have a layer on top. So you have a stone. That rock absorbs from underneath. You're outside, you're in an outdoor environment, which means water is going to get underneath. And if you take a look at this right here, this patio is a walkway. I'm going to turn around over here so you can see it. So you're going to have water that's going to penetrate underneath you. It's going to want a place to come out. And what you'll notice right here is that it's a lot darker, which is to trap moisture along the grout lines or along the channels, right, that you have, because outdoor you don't put grout, put another material. But this right here is the path of least resistance, right? So wherever there's a crevice, wherever there's a hole, moisture and water is going to want to wick up through those areas. And in this case, it's your grout lines, basically. But what you'll notice is that it's dark because it's just trapped under there. And then I got a different angle over here where you could see it peeling. But basically, that's why you have those frames, because that's an indication of water trying to come out. Okay, now what it is I'm explaining right here is that you have a barrier, right? That's the positive, is that you have a barrier from the elements coming down and hitting it to get into your stone. But you also have a barrier when you have evaporation, you have water trying to come out of the stone. Right here, I'm pointing out exactly what I just talked about, having moisture, so you need it to breathe. So when you use a penetrating sealers, impregnating sealers, they're permeable. They're permeable basically just means that it allows it to evaporate, allows it to breathe, allows it to expand and contract. It allows moisture to go and not be trapped. And that's what happened here, okay? So with good intention, there's a topical applied, and the result is what you see here. Now, I could have sworn I had a better angle where you could see the peeling. See, now I'm coming back. So what you're looking at right here is that you're looking at the traffic lane. So if you look along the edge, along the bullnose, right over here, along the bullnose, it is on point, has not been messed with whatsoever. But you'll see right over here on the tops, that right there is not people walking. This right here is water accumulated and coming down. because you could see it's shaped like a puddle. And that's the beautiful thing about natural stone, is that natural stone tells a story. It cannot lie. It tells you what you see, and what I see here is I see puddles of water. And in time, what it does is it degrades any topical on there, leaving it looking like you see it now. Over here, this white stuff, you have that fluorescence that's coming out. Right over here, these first couple of steps, this right here is normally is people walking up and down, because you have a topical, but then as you're walking, your feet, your shoes, it works like sandpaper. So day in and day out, if this is your main door that you go in and out of, that's gonna happen. So right there, I'm showing that it's bare, and on the bull nose, it's complete there. So the beautiful thing about this house too is that they had a topical put in front, and then either no sealer or an impregnating sealer in the back, which gave me great content for both. But right there, that's pretty much the best that I can show you right here at this juncture. But as you can see right here, it's peeling, it's coming off. This whole thing needs work. And that's exactly what this customer is calling about. So when she mentioned that the exact same thing happened to her and she's trying to figure out a new way, this is exactly what she had going on. All right, so let's go to the backyard so you can see what that looks like. And then I'll give her a call. Okay, so right here. Okay, so now we're in the backyard. The backyard, like I said, there's nothing on there, and you could clearly tell. Look at that. Now, is this floor dirty? It's in between, but you're gonna see the traffic pattern. Now, in the front, you saw what the traffic pattern does to a poly or to a topical. Look right here. Look at what a traffic pattern does over here when there's nothing on there. It's a traffic pattern of soil. It's dirt. So this will come off. Now, how great will it come off? It depends on how far it's penetrated. Depends if you had a penetrating sealer on here to begin with. So when you put a sealer down, a sealer isn't applied to stop stains from happening or to stop, surface elements, not surfactants. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh, pollutants. Pollutants from the atmosphere and whatnot, coming down on your ground, on your stone, and leaving a mark. The thing is that when you put a sealer on there, it prevents it from absorbing, making it cleanable. Where a topical makes it look like nothing will ever happen to it until you introduce other pieces of environment to this. And right here, as I'm walking on, I'm leaving, you can see the contrast between a topical and a penetrator. So everything that we do on this channel, we want to be helpful. We want constructive criticism. We want people's expertise or advice or things that you've tried, things that have worked for you. So just in this segment of watching this video, if you're aware of some sort of topical that's going to give the protection that the customer is looking for, but still allows the environment and nature to do what it's going to do and evaporate and not create these marks, please put the information down. We'd love to hear it. I'd love to put it to the test, see how it works, see what it does, and then re-communicate to the community on this channel. As far as penetrating sealers, impregnating sealers, if you have one that resists staining more than others, by all means, please put that information on here. And let's get underway. So now you know which video it is. I'll put a link in the comment section below, so you can go ahead and watch this video if you want. Now let's give the customer a call and see what she says. Hello, good afternoon. This is Caesar with CSI calling back. We had a message earlier regarding sealers.
A sealant? Yes. Thank you. Okay. Oh, you're the person who made the video?
Yes, ma'am. In the flesh.
Oh, how nice of you to call back. Thank you. My question is the same as what I see everybody asking, and that is, I have a black and white marble and slate big walkway, and we had it a polyurethane coating on it for 3 years, and it was great because it didn't show any of the leaf stains, and we have lots of leaves. And there's no way we can keep up with the leaves fast enough. And then we took it off because it started peeling off. We ground it all off, and then put the penetrating sealer type, the impregnator, and it's terrible. We have leaf stains everywhere. At this point, I'm not sure if we can put some. Do we have something like silicone or something? What would you do if you were us?
So first, it's really about understanding what happened to it. So I'm glad you found the video, and on that video, you could clearly see the difference between a penetrating sealer and a topical. You mentioned that you had it ground off. Now,
Yeah.
when you say
To take off all of the polyurethane, rather than taking it off chemically, he just ground it all off with a sander. It sanded it off.
Okay. All right. So the immediate thing that I think of when I hear that is that during the grinding process, he completely changed the texture. So you had your original texture, you had the poly put on top, and the way that we've always removed poly so that we don't alter the texture is chemically removing it. It's a little bit more tedious, takes a little bit more time, but it doesn't change the texture of the stone. And the reason why that's important is because when you change texture, you change porosity. And by putting this penetrator, what kind of impregnating sealer did you put on? Do you know the brand?
Yes, it was Stone Tech. It was Stone Tech. Oh gosh, I have it in my phone. They make several things, but it was like the heavy duty, best one you can get kind of.
Yeah, Stone Tech makes some really great products. Yeah, they do really make some great products. Do you know which one? Usually the go-to is Bulletproof.
No, it was not that. I can hold on just one second. It's in
Yeah.
my phone. I'll get it. Hold on. Let me see. That is under. Sorry.
No worries, take your time.
And there it is. Okay. So it's Oh, here it is. Okay. It's actually called Stone Tech Heavy Duty Sealer. That's the name of it.
Okay, Stone Tech Heavy Duty Sealer. All right.
It's green. It's in a green jug.
Yep, all of them are heavy duty clean air 31. Okay, I found it on Amazon, but I want to see if I could find it on their website for more information. Heavy duty sealer. This is a different website, but let's see what they have. Review description. Okay. All right.
Well, I guess what I wanted to know was if I already looked online and they said you could put a polyurethane based thing over the impregnating sealer. But 3 years from now, when it starts to pop off or peel off,
You're back to the same thing, having the same problem over again.
yes.
Costly too.
Well, what's that silicone? Is silicone something we could use?
No. Okay. So
Stains away?
no. So silicone is in reference to sealers. Silicone is the active ingredient that gives it the wet look. So with silicone, the only time silicone should come into play when it comes to this is just referencing if you want it to have the wet look or not, darker the stone or not. So that doesn't matter whether you use it or doesn't use it. It's not going to give you any more protection than what we're discussing right now. What I'm looking at right now is this heavy duty sealer for Stone Tech is a water based, which is good because it's easy to come off with just your regular strippers and for future maintenance. And it says that it's a low solids coating. So are you a little bit familiar with sealers, or you're getting familiar now through your experience?
I am, because I have a lifetime of marble floors in my kitchen and blah blah blah. But this is outside.
Gotcha.
So
all right,
that's my problem, and it's the leaves are the issue. There are a lot of leaves, and they will stain it.
Yeah.
And it's white, and it shows, and
Okay.
I'd rather have the peeling polyurethane than the leaf residue, you know?
Yeah. All right. So then I can give you some guidance. I can give you some things to look up and kind of do some homework on to find out which sealer would be better for you. But through just a little bit of education, right? So with your experience, it should be easy to follow. But basically, there's two overall categories of sealers. You have penetrating sealers and you have topicals. When it comes to topicals, there's your polys and then there's your acrylics, water-based, solvent-based. So what you have on there right now is you have a water-based low solids coating. And what solids means is basically solids is the amount of product left behind once evaporation has occurred. So when you have a product that's like 7% solids, 12%, 15%, 20, 24, 27% solids, that's how much solids is left after it evaporates. So because you changed your texture, because really in my experience, and please, I'm always interested in learning more, right, from other people, from other professionals. But in my opinion, you never want to grind to remove that topical coating. You always want to go chemically so you don't change it. But because you changed your coating, you change your porosity. Because you change your porosity, you got to change the amount of solids in the sealer that you use. So if you're still having this problem right now with this heavy
Yeah.
duty Stone Tech, it's a low solids. So I say let's increase the solids. So and
How do
with
you do that?
and with everything I tell you, do it on a small area first. Identify if it works. But there is a different product. It's called Valspar protective sealer.
Hmm.
And this protective sealer does give you the wet look, and it is also water-based acrylic. Now, this one here will probably have more acrylic than the heavy-duty one that you have, which is going to compensate for that increased absorption that you now have on your stone. So
Is that an impregnating sealer or a topical seal?
it's technically a topical. Even the one that you used technically, because if it has solids, it's
Hmm.
topical. It's just how much solid does it have so that it remains topical or penetrates. So with this one right
Oh,
here, with this Valspar one, it is a topical one. Um, and I feel that it's going to have more solids than the one that you use now. But at this point, it's your only option is to reapply a topical solids containing sealer. Now the question is which one, and you can always increase, your product little by little until you have it just right.
you can increase what little by little?
The product. So like right now, you already got all the epoxy off, or all the
Hmm.
urethane. You got all the urethane off. So now you applied your penetrator that has a little bit of solid. So what you want to do now is you want to remove that and then reapply this particular sealer on there and see if it acts differently. But do a small sample first. Do it on one tile in your most heavily
Hmm.
trafficked area or your most heavily penetrated area with those leaves, and see how it reacts before you do it to the whole thing.
So you think that having something with more solids, I think is what you said, in it,
Hmm.
will be more of a protective layer to refuse the stain? That's what I'm trying to do, is
That's exactly
refuse
it.
stains. Okay.
Yes, and by increasing that solid little by little, you're testing to see where your particular patio should stay at, and then you find your product that way. But you want to stick with water-based acrylic.
Water-based acrylic, okay. And so, is that something that as it wears, you can just put on more, or do you have to take it all off?
Okay, so this takes the conversations to a different place. Before you reapply, you always need to clean. Depending,
And is a neutral cleaner mineral spirit?
is a neutral cleaner what now?
Mineral spirit?
No, no. So here, write down this one, or I could send you a text message, but you could write it down as well. But you want to
Okay.
look for a Clean Story marble and granite cleaner, and you can find that
A
on.
Clean Story
Mhm.
marble and granite cleaner?
Correct, and you can find that on Amazon.
Okay. Wow, you're the greatest. I want you to take the rest of the day off. No, but it's so nice of you to share all your knowledge. And I'm telling you, I was gonna tear my hair out. I was on the computer this morning for like 2.5, 3 hours, reading and watching videos, and just trying to search this and that. And it was taking me their products, and they're saying this stuff, and I left messages for product people and talked to some of them. They were not. Nobody was as helpful as you, and as really as knowledgeable. I think they just get these guys and they hire them, and they don't even know the product. But anyway, this is marvelous. Thank you. So, in other words, where we are then is we have this, stuff Stone Tech that I told you that's on there. We clean it. Is it right? We clean it with that stuff you just told me, and then put on the acrylic stuff that Valspar stuff. Test it on a smaller space.
Correct. So the Clean Story cleaner, you're gonna want to buy the gallon. The gallon is in concentrate. So there's two products on there. You have the spray bottle that's ready to use, and the ready to use formula that's in it is medium soiled. And then the gallon is concentrated, and the gallon has the dilution rates on the side of the bottle.
Okay.
And that dilution rate, to do what you're doing, use it as a heavily soiled dilution.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically all you're doing is just grabbing like a deck brush of some kind. So all you want to do is just spray it on with your regular sprayer, scrub it with a deck brush, and then because it's a neutral cleaner, you can rinse it off with water.
Okay.
And then let it dry. After it dries, then go ahead and apply this Valspar coating on there, and let's see what it does. Like I said, pick an area where you have a lot of that staining going on, so that you have a good standard, a good place to guide, make your judgment on. Apply it and see what it does. I definitely want to know what it does. I'd love to see if it's all right with you. I'd love if you could email me or text me the picture of what you have. So the email address that you want to send it to is sales at csi-absoluteclean.com.
Wait a second, you cut off for a second. Sales at CSI-what?
CSI-absolute clean.
Oh, absolute.
Absoluteclean.com.
.com. Okay. And tell me your name again, please. I'm sorry.
Caesar.
Caesar. Okay. All right, Caesar. This is so appreciated. Now, assuming this stuff works and it's great, down the road where we have, more traffic, do we do the same process before we apply some more, or can we just clean it so it looks clean and put some more on?
Well, that depends on how soiled it is, because then at that point, now what we're referencing and you want to be able to tell is you want to know if it's deeply soiled, in which case then you would want a stronger cleaner. And if it's not really all that heavily soiled, then you can use this product at its heavily soiled dilution, and it'll give you a good foundation of prep for the next application. But when it comes to these applications, don't be liberal with it. You don't want to put more than you have to, because then, it's not a big deal because you're using a water-based acrylic. So with water-based acrylics, those come off with strippers, but who wants to deal with a stripper if you can avoid it?
But what about the stripper?
That you're going to have to deal. So if you put on a series of coatings of this sealer, then what's going to end up happening is that you're going to have to strip it off to get back down to the bare to reapply it again. So you want to keep that to a minimum. Not that it's a big deal, but you could avoid using liquefying agents. So a stripper is a liquefying agent. So strippers liquefy acrylics.
I see. Okay.
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 So you can avoid doing that.
If you put acrylic over acrylic, it's just going to make it hazy white, right?
It could, and you trap in soil if it's dirty. If it's heavily soiled, it's heavily dirty, then you trap it in the dirt.
Okay. I don't think the soil is so much of an issue as it is just the leaf staining.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, good,
I mean,
good.
it's not.
Then with this one product that you
But
have here, it gives you the best of both worlds. So the Clean Story product I just shared with you, that's for indoor, outdoor, safe on all natural stone, all finishes, all sealers. You just work with the dilution rate that's at the back of the bottle.
okay. Okay. What can I do? Send you some cookies or something? You're so nice to share your help, your knowledge. And you know, I can't hire you because I'm in St. Louis.
No, listen, you're actually doing me one better. So, if you have a moment, I could explain kind of what's going on. Basically, we've been in this industry for what, 14 years now, and for 14 years,
Mm-hmm.
I've heard these stories day in and day out from different people about different subjects regarding the same things: what to clean it with, how to clean it, what do I seal it with, what do sealers do, and and then just correcting mistakes. So I've heard this for years. So this past couple months ago, about 4 months ago, we just launched called A Clean Story. And basically, with a
Oh.
with so because everyone has a story, right? So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
with a clean story, we're creating a go-to location for everybody within the natural stone and porcelain ceramic care industry. Whether you're a DIYer or a professional or just a homeowner trying to look for some answers. We want to be able to give the answers to people. So you just said you spent what, 3 hours on YouTube or on Google
Yeah.
looking.
Yeah.
So so that's exactly the hub that we're trying to create. And with that, I would like to make some it's like podcast style videos
Sure.
where I'm recording these conversations with people,
Yeah.
and I can share it and put it on YouTube, and hopefully this helps the next person.
I will be on it if you want me to. If you need somebody, I'm good.
That is amazing because I want this to be genuine, unedited. So do I have your permission to use
Yes.
our conversation?
Absolutely. Of course. Yes.
Awesome. Well, then I definitely am interested in seeing what your stone looks like. I'd love to use it in the video as well as a starter. And I'd like to see what this other product did for you as well, because if this Valspar
Yeah.
product was a good product for you, it could be a good one for other people, and this could be helpful. So if we could see some before and afters, please keep me in the loop.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
And in your opinion, you feel that this is a possible success as far as keeping leaves from staining it?
Well, remember, leaves emit that I forgot the technical phrase, but that orange and that
I know what
green,
you mean.
it
Yes,
waters
yes.
off, it comes off. So there's nothing you could do to prevent it from coming down. What you're trying to do is you're preventing it from sticking.
Yes,
In which
from going into and staining. Yes.
Correct. So by increasing that solid, you're increasing how much of that absorption rate absorbs to keep it on the surface as much as possible without using like a polyurethane that's completely over top. You still want it to be permeable. And the more solids you have in the product, the less permeable it is. And right now,
I have to tell you, I was very pleased with how the polyurethane prevented staining. We just can't get out there every hour and remove leaves.
yeah,
And sometimes it would sit in corners where we don't even see it for days or sometimes a weeks or so, and the poly would never let it stain. So that was wonderful. It was just that when it started coming off, it was a nightmare, and didn't know which way to go at that point. But if they had something where you could just put more on, I would do it.
yeah. Well, I'm glad there isn't. Well, as far as urethanes go, because you don't want to keep putting it on. Because I can only imagine the extensive work that was done to be able to grind that stuff off. That
Oh
stuff.
God, yes, yes.
Yeah, that stuff is no joke. That stuff is no joke. So that's why whenever we come across
Yeah.
those, and it's easily a 3, 4, 5 day project depending on size.
But at least it looked better, and it was the
Hmm.
same. We got 3 years out of it, just like we are supposed to be getting from these other products, but we had peace of mind in those 3 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, okay.
All
Well,
right.
thank you again, Caesar. Thank you so much for your time. And yes, I hope to come up with some solution, and it'll be a success, and you can share it with everybody. But boy, does everybody need something.
I appreciate that very much. I'll text you. I'll text you the link to our Clean Story YouTube page. And then exactly what we just talked about, you'll see that introduction video and kind of what the point is of that YouTube channel. And I greatly appreciate, subscribe, like, your support on there, and, leave a comment. All of that is the algorithm that YouTube likes to see. But what I want to do is I just want to capitalize on these opportunities because I get these stories every day.
Yes, it really is a hole in the the market for what everybody wants. They just want perfection.
Yeah, no, I get it. It comes with a little bit of education. That's why I think our conversation was so good, is because you've already experienced indoor and outdoor with stone and sealers, making everything I was just saying that much easier to follow.
Okay. Well, thank you again, and I'll look for your text.
Awesome. Thank you. You have a great one. Appreciate the inquiry.
You.
Bye bye now.
Bye-bye.
So that right there is a perfect example of what I see each and every day. We get these conversations, we get these inquiries from customers all the time. So hopefully you found value in this particular conversation. I'm going to wait to see her before and after pictures. I don't know if I'm going to re-edit or just throw it in there somehow, or just put it in the comment section. Not sure what I'm going to do. I'll probably just load up this video and put it up there, in which case I won't have a before and after to show during the editing of this video. But I will throw it into the comment section. Are you able to put pictures in there? I'm not sure. I don't know. Or I'll put a link to a YouTube, Google Drive or something like that. I'll figure something out. But whoever's watching this, if you're interested in knowing what this Valspar product looked like, so she's going to send me a picture of the result after using this product on an exterior slate, walkway. So any variation of this, keep it in mind that they change texture, which means they change porosity, which means they change absorption rate. So that changes a lot. So after they went ahead, they ground that off, they used this product here. That's gonna be the before picture that she sends me. I didn't ask her how long she had it on there for to establish how long, but we're gonna see how it is with this product here. And I'll put it in the information somehow down below. So if this information was useful, please share it, subscribe, like, comment. And like I said, whether you're a pro, a DIYer, a homeowner, please, if you have value to bring to this video, please put it in the comment section. Everybody's looking for a solution. I'm looking to improve in our company, in the services that we provide, putting the best products out there. And if you know of something that can bridge the gap between the awesome functionality of topicals with the performance of impregnators without dealing with this grinding or chemical situation to remove it, please let me know. And like I said, like, subscribe, comment onto both our channels, A Clean Story and CSI Absolute Clean. Have a great one. Appreciate it. Over and out.